Got a chance to see Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about Speak No Evil, but before then, let's talk about some of the comics I've put out. So we have just released Lords of LA issue 2, which we're fulfilling right now for our backers on Kickstarter. But yes, this is issue number 1. They are both 48 pages, and it surrounds a character named Lena who goes to LA to get the dream and instead is turned by one of the two mafia bosses that are vampires in LA. And 60 years later, she comes back to get her revenge. So it is a revenge story with plenty of blood, sex, and gore. And there's also Marilyn in here as well. This is lots of fun. But anyway, there's the second issue with the katana cover. Then we have the Helene cover. And then we have a samurai cover. And I have 2 more covers coming in right now that I haven't gotten yet. Plus, if you are a fan of Timothy Zahn and Kevin J. Anderson. So Timothy Zahn's the one who created Thrawn for Star Wars. Kevin J. Anderson's written a bunch of different sci-fi, including Dune and things like that. Brandon Easton, who did Marvel's Peggy Carter, Agent Carter. Anyway, they're all coming together for the 50th anniversary of the Green Hornet. And we are going to be launching that in the beginning of January. And you can go to greenhornetnoir.com and sign up for that. And it's literally just one click and you'll get notified about when we launch. There's also a link in the description below as well. So definitely jump in on that. All right, so let's talk about Speak No Evil. I did not get a chance to see this in the theater. And I'm actually glad I didn't. Because it is a very slow burn movie. It is almost 2 hours long. It's currently on Peacock. It just jumped on there right now. So if you have Peacock, you can watch it, for free or whatever your subscription is. I am a big fan of James McAvoy. I think the guy is extremely talented and versatile. I mean, he literally can play anything. He's played everything from, Charles Xavier to the guy from Split, So he's got this huge, huge range. The first time I ever saw him was in the Angelina Jolie movie, about them bending the bullets there from the Mark Millar comic book. The guy just keeps growing and growing and growing into his talent. And without him, I don't think this film works at all. It's very, very drawn out. They were able to do a very contained type of film where your cast is extremely small. They did an absolutely great job of picking locations. So this is written and directed by James Watkins. He has a few films under his belt. The biggest one that I know of is The Woman in Black. But he also did a great job. Whoever his casting director was did an amazing job of getting some really good talent in there that are able to carry the film over. So we have Mackenzie Davis, who, of course, I know best from the Terminator movie, where she played the Terminator recently. I thought she did a good job in that, considering that it was a little bit off on the Terminator lore, So I know a lot of people had a lot of problem with that, but I don't think the problem was hers. I thought she did a good job. But the rest of it, the rest of the cast here, I think that the kids... when you get the most interesting parts of this when it focuses on the kids. And as you know from the trailer, that this family, that they're from London, they're I think vacationing in Italy, and they end up meeting this other couple that they gravitate towards because, he's got a huge personality, meaning James McAvoy's character, which his name is Patty, and his wife is Sierra, I think. And in fact, the girl who plays the wife, she is from Vox Machina. She plays the voice of Kaylee, the dwarf. I don't know if it's a dwarf or a halfling or whatever it is. Her name is Aisling Francoisi. I think she's French to some degree. But anyway, so she does a great job in that show as well. But I think that the couple has got to be likable, meaning her and James McAvoy, because if they're not likable, again, the film doesn't work at all. And, Mackenzie Davis, plays this very, she wears the pants in the family, and she's not happy with her husband. He's a very soy boy type of, if any of all the characters, he is the most dislikable. He also has he has 96 credits. His name is Scoot McNairy, and he's got huge amounts of credits, and he does a good job here at being unlikable. I think that was his whole plan here, was to be completely unlikable. And the little boy, Daniel Hoff, who plays Ant, this is one of his first roles. He only has one other role, which is probably not very big. So this is probably his biggest role. But yeah, so Scoot plays, he was just in Night Bitch as well. He plays one of the voices in Invincible. He was in Blonde. The guy just has huge amounts he was in Argo. Just huge amounts of credits. But at the same time, he's also in Godless, too. I have to watch that show again. That was a really good, I love Westerns. But anyway, he is the guy that needs to step up at the end, and he does. But, the storyline is, of course, that they're vacationing with this family, and this is where they have the biggest amount of cast in the beginning. And then once they go to their house, again, their little chateau or whatever else that they have, where they found this location, I don't know, but it really worked, for the rest of the film. It made the film interesting just from this little farm chateau that they have. And the restaurant that they picked as well, that's like on, when they're vacationing in Italy, was really great too. They did a really good job of, they were flying all this cast out into Europe. So the budget was $15 million. So they with the cast they got, and McAvoy must have been doing this as a favor to work for $15 million. But there you go. There's a low budget film, and it ended up grossing $75 million. That's before it went to streaming. So it's already in the black before it goes to streaming. So good job for them. But it is, I do feel that it's at least 20 to 30 minutes too long. They really draw it out. To the point where they make the people leave and then come back. And I really wish they had deleted that, because they go back for like the stupidest reason. I do like the plot of what this couple has done. I like that. I thought that was very well thought out. But again, because they meet these people on vacation, right? And they have done this to other couples and other families. But the question is how? If the people that they met, because they didn't invite them, I don't know how they came to their house. They got a postcard from them, if I remember correctly, and then they reached out to them from the postcard. But what if they didn't? What if they didn't? Did they just go on vacation continuously to meet people? So that if anything, that's where the hole is how do they continuously get people to come to their house when I didn't feel like it was very plotted for them. It was completely accidental. I mean, I know that when they were at the, where they were vacationing in Italy at the little resort, they did target them. I did get that part. But they didn't go directly from there to their chateau. The people went home, and then they got invited. So I just found that very strange, where it wasn't, if this was their mark, how come they didn't say, well, do you have a few more days you want to come out with us before you go home? Because they knew they were in London, so they probably drove, and especially when they had their car. So anyway, it had some holes, I thought, and I thought it was too long, but I thought the acting was very good, and I thought that the last third of the film, which I know everybody said, well, it just turns into a traditional horror movie, but that's when it got, for me, that's when it got exciting, so, because I was getting bored with it until it got, exciting towards the end. So if anything, yes, I agree that it turned into a traditional horror movie, or like a home invasion type of film, even though it was on the other side of the coin. But for me, that's when it got really interesting. I liked what they did with the boy at the end. I thought that there was a lot of good twists in it to a certain extent, but again, it needed to get there quicker because it meanders. The whole second act is just meandering, where it felt uncomfortable throughout the entire film because you knew that these people are off just purely from watching the trailer, or even watching that, something's, off with them. And in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, Mackenzie's right. You need to get out of there. But I'm going to give this like pretty much a 6 out of 10. Even though I thought the acting propelled it, it really is just above an average film. There's really nothing majorly special about it. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to give me that like, give me that thumbs up if you can. And subscribe to the channel as well. Bring the little bell down there. Bring it so it goes ding ding. And plus, if you want to get involved in Green Hornet when we come out, at least get the notified so you can see, all the great stuff. If you go to the page, you'll see all the writers there. We got a little video as well. Just go to greenhornetnoir.com. All right. Thanks again, guys. And you guys have a great holiday and a great week.